I'm criticizing the crisis pregnancy centers, and nothing could be further from the truth. I know they provide a valuable service. We provide materials for them. We help out the CPCs. But we must not change the focus of the pro-life movement from stopping abortion over to stopping abortions.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If we take this tact, and if these people who claim to be pro-life, and I'm not sure whether this woman is or she isn't, but for her to come out here and say, to suggest that the pro-life movement needs reforming, right? We don't need to be shouting at women. We don't need to be about hate-filled debates. That's how she defines the unreformed pro-life movement, which we're all part of the unreformed pro-life movement. We must not, and let me repeat this again, we cannot allow the effort to stop abortion to be co-opted by the efforts to stop abortions one or two at a time. Because if we do, our great-grandchildren will be fighting this battle.
And you know what this is like? This is like sending in the Red Cross into a war zone and letting them dictate the terms of the war.
Right.
The Red Cross becoming the generals.
Right.
And that's what the crisis pregnancy centers really are. They're the mop-up operation. They're taking care of the wounded, the hurting, the desperate women, but they're not running the fight.
Right.
And so the leaders in the pro-life movement, we need to acknowledge and help and support the crisis pregnancy centers, but they can't be dictating the terms of engagement. We're here to win this battle, to end abortion, to shut down the remaining 710 abortion clinics. And you know what? If it seems like it's hate-filled, if the rhetoric is too strong for you, then get out.
Right. Get out of the way.
Because babies' lives depend on these pictures, on the crisis pregnancy counseling in front of abortion clinics, the truth trucks, and everything else we can throw at the abortion industry.
First off, this woman has no conception of what the pro-life movement's about.
No.
First off, the pro-life movement is not about stopping abortions. The pro-life movement is about returning legal protection to a segment of the human family that has been denied it. We have to return legal protection to the unborn child. The crisis pregnancy centers provide a very valuable resource. The sidewalk counselors do that. But that will never return legal protection to the unborn. And that's the only way this thing is ever going to end. And this woman goes on in this article to talk about how she's not like a Glenn Beck droid, as she calls it, who's bent on world domination, as if that's the motive of the pro-life movement. We've got, God save us from our friends, right? If this woman is one of them.
I can get hate-filled thinking about what goes on in abortion clinics. I hate what goes on there. And
right. And you've worked at a CPC.
I've worked at a CPC.
My wife's been on the board of the CPC. We ran a CPC through here.
And thank God for them. But they don't have it down with stopping abortion.
Their vision, their mission statement is never to stop abortion, is to provide help to women in the interim.
To provide alternatives. That's fine.
That's it.
And it's needed. I wish you would have been out there with a picture when I was going in there.
Yeah.
And
but
I wish this sister was more of a Glenn Beck. I came down last night, stayed with the Buse family, and they had the TV on and watched Glenn Beck. And this guy was up there bringing up some stuff that was shaking. You know what I'm saying? It shakes you at the core where he describes what is going down and what's happening. Right. We need people who can, even if it's offend somebody, you need to tell them the truth.
And even if the guy's a Mormon.
Yeah.
If this guy's a Mormon, he's still capable of...
If they are going to tell you the truth, and we are obligated to let people know the truth, even if it hurts them, if it offends them.
Right.
You know, the wounds of a friend is a wonderful thing.
I'm not totally convinced, just from what I read here, that this woman is pro-life as she claims to be.
She probably thinks she is.
I don't even know if she is. But if she is, if she thinks that she is, she has a bastardized view of what it means to be pro-life.
Pro-life means hate-filled debate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pro-life means you believe that the unborn child has a legal right to life from the moment of conception. And when we vary away from that, we create situations in which the word pro-life means nothing. And we have got right here in Texas right now a classic example of this in the race between Kay Bailey Hutchison, U.S. Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison from Texas, and Rick Perry. Now, everybody knows I think Rick Perry's an empty suit. He's not my big guy, but he at least says the right things about abortion. But Kay Bailey Hutchison is a rabid pro-abort.
Yes. Through 6 months, mind you.
And
at least.
this woman is a rabid pro-abort. but she knows she's in Texas, and she's campaigning as a pro-lifer. She has got ads out talking about her pro-life voting record, and she's basing that on her opposition to partial birth abortion. She voted against partial birth abortion. And if you remember back when we were talking about this years ago here on LifeTalk, I said this was going to come back and haunt us, and it is. Because when you can allow people to say that they're pro-life based on the fact that they're opposed to partial birth abortion, which they know good and well that even if you ban it, it doesn't prevent one abortion. Yeah.
So in other words, they're opposed to infanticide now,
Well, but Johnny, even if you ban partial birth abortion, you're still going to do it with D&Es. So, and that's the way most late-term abortions are done anyway. So this woman now is able, because she voted against partial birth abortion, to trot around Texas and tell everybody about how pro-life she is. This is an obscenity. This woman is lying through her teeth, but if you confronted her on it, this is what she'd use as her justification.
Rick Perry called her out on it, and she didn't. She totally skated it. She didn't answer anything.
The first debate between them was here in Denton, at University of North Texas.
She's also said she's against Obamacare and the big health care reform. But at the same time, she's voted again and again to fund Planned Parenthood in the same manner that, that they want to be funded through Obamacare. So you've got to watch what these people do, not what they say around election time.
Exactly. And let me tell you, what scares me about this is, and we all know that the vast majority of people who go into a voting booth and vote for somebody have no clue why they're doing it. And what I'm afraid of is, this woman's way behind in the polls now, but who knows what's going to happen. But what I'm afraid of is that her going out here and putting up these ads that says she's pro-life, to pro-lifers who don't stay up with this and who are uninformed, that, oh, well, I'm pro-life. I'd never vote for somebody that wasn't pro-life, and Kay Bailey Hutchison's pro-life. I'm scared to death of the percentage of pro-lifers around the state of Texas that believe this woman's lie that she's pro-life.
I know them personally, they do.
Well,
I've run into them myself.
2010 is going to be an interesting year, and it's certainly stacking up to be one already. But I think the sentiment of throw the bums out, show me what you do, not what you say, that started with Ben Nelson. Yeah. He said, I'm pro-life, and now, of course, he's 45 points behind in the polls.
And
he was the beloved pro-life senator from Nebraska, and now they can't wait to kick this guy out.
Right.
Wow. I can't wait till the election.
One thing I want to mention real quickly here. There's been a lot of, I've had people call me and say, why is it that organizations like the AMA and all these health insurance companies are supportive of abortion and supporting government health care? If they're supporting government health care, they support the option of paying for abortion through it. And again, this is something we've talked about in the past, and we need to remind people. There's reasons why both of these entities are pro-abortion. First off, in the medical community, I cannot tell you how many times we have dealt with malpractice suits regarding abortion in which it came out that the reason the doctor was trying to get the abortion was because he was trying to cover up the malpractice that either he or someone else had committed against this woman who was pregnant. Yeah. Abortion is the way these guys, if you go to one of these guys, and he may personally know that abortion is murder. But if he thinks, wow, I gave you a drug and I didn't know that you were pregnant at the time, we forgot to screen you, and this may have caused a problem with your baby, I better come back in and tell you that you got a problem with your baby, and the best thing for you to do is termination. Because if that baby's born and it's got a problem, it comes out that it's because we gave you some drug, we got a big old lawsuit. Yeah. And that's the primary reason I believe that so many people in the medical community are pro-aborts, because they understand that it protects them against malpractice. As for the insurance companies, it's a very simple, we always know this thing always goes back to money, right? If you're an insurance company, you're selling health insurance, and this would be true if we're talking about national health care, it's much cheaper to pay for $1,000, $500 abortion than it is to add that child that's born onto the health care cost. Right. It's much cheaper to pay for that than it is to pay for the birth of that baby and the prenatal care for the mom. Yeah, let's say everything goes right. The prenatal care,
it's still a $15,000, $20,000 birth as opposed to a $500 or $1,000 abortion. Right,
and babies are cheaper if they're killed than if they're allowed to live.
And no carbon filter.
Doesn't that sound like a eugenic argument, though?
I'm telling you, the more you look at this, the more you see that eugenics is the heart of abortion.
And it's the heart of this health care program.
It absolutely is. And even Obama admitted that.
I stopped calling it a health care reform package. I call it the abortion bailout package. It's the abortion industry's bailout package. The car industry got it, the banking industry got it, the insurance industry got it, AIG got it, and now it's time for the abortion industry to get their bailout.
And even down in Houston, everywhere Planned Parenthood open up, they claim to be health care facilities.
Now, let me show you something. There's a thing called the Healthcare Blue Book, talking about the average cost around the country of particular services. This is talking about first trimester abortions, $300 to $450. Gestational is high, you pay more in a surgical suite. Quote, an abortion performed in a physician's office typically costs $397. However, a vaginal delivery costs $59.92, while a C-section costs $85.58. If you're the suits at the insurance company, why would you not pay for abortion? If you're amoral to the point that morality is not an issue here, this is a bottom line deal, you're applauding every time a woman has an abortion because that saves you $397 versus as much as $9,000, right?
And this is something I'm really fearing for the entire United States, this egalitarian mindset.
This utilitarian,
Yeah, it's just whatever these people can do to benefit society is good. And if you're not a benefit, if you're a drain, your carbon footprint's too big, it's a greenie argument, just do away with them. We just don't need these guys that are a drain on society.
Well, and that'll be even a bigger deal with national health care.
Right.
Because they're going to go in front of the American people and say, look, I know you're not comfortable paying for abortion. Right. You want to pay $400? Or do you want to pay $9,000, $10,000? Plus, if this woman is indigent, you're going to pay $150,000 to raise her kid till it's 18 years old.
Right. And it's a line item. We've all had to create budgets. Right.